He's like, I know.
No,
hear me out. It was
is
nice,
a beautiful
but
place.
Blockbuster.
Like right now, it's not like as great as it was since the whole like
the friendly
tsunami
environment wasn't
whatnot.
there. There wasn't.
There's no
I didn't get
treats.
treats when I went. Yeah,
No,
there
yeah,
There was
I
no
didn't get the treats when
Blockbusters in
was-
Puerto Rico.
I didn't do the backflips when I had to get that certain thing I wanted.
Yeah.
You can. I've never seen you do a backflip. But I would give you a
eventually
treat if you did
I'll
one.
go back.
The next
But
goal for the Boy with the Boys stream is for Christian to do a backflip.
And get a
He
treat.
gets a treat.
And get a treat.
Hey guys,
That was
welcome
probably
to
really
another
awesome.
episode of Boy with the Boys, where we talk about certain topics with the boys.
It's true.
And my name is Christian. I am
much
one
it.
of your boy with the boys. This is Tim on my left,
That's
Brian.
probably incorrect.
and Scott.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about, what was the topic?
I don't know.
We didn't figure that out.
We don't
yet.
know.
We didn't decide yet. We didn't decide.
So
before we
let's-
started.
Let's talk about our favorite places that we visited in our life so far.
Whoa.
GameStop.
Bad. That came out of
GameStop.
That's terrible.
Can't hit us with a GameStop as your
That
favorite
was a
place.
good topic though. That came out of nowhere.
You literally worked at GameStop, so your work was your favorite
Okay.
place.
So, no, actually, my favorite place was going to Blockbuster.
What the fuck?
I thought there was gonna be more to
Man.
that. Going to Blockbuster.
Well, hold on, guys. You
Why?
guys
You
are
gotta
already-
explain
hit us,
why.
hit us with the why.
All right, so Blockbuster was one of the places I used to go to when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
it had everything. It had all the classics movies. It had the games. It had the treats. It had like friendly company. It had people there that like it was amazing. Like
The
didn't you
treats.
want to like come back from school and man
Go to Blockbuster, man.
go to Blockbuster?
Well, yeah. When you go in and they're like, "Who's been a good boy? Here's a treat."
I used to love that.
They give you a
I mean,
treat.
When they give you a treat.
Sit, Christian. Sit. Speak.
Oh,
I mean, I'll give you that. Like back in the day, it was cool to
I get
go
what
to
he's
like
saying.
a movie rental place. I wasn't gonna go like after school. I would go like only when like my parents brought me on like a weekend or
Yeah.
something like that. But I mean, it was
Field
cool.
trip.
But I mean, I don't think I talked to anybody when I was there. You just get a movie or a game or whatever. So like friendly environment, it was like non-existent. You just
That's the
your
thing
thing.
about like you don't have that contact anywhere where there's people around you. Like everything's on just one little thing that you can just go home and just.
I
do it
remember-
yourself.
One time I rented the old Battlefield. It was Battlefield 1, Bad Company or whatever it was.
Good one.
And I was late or almost late on my payment. So I rode my bike because my mom wasn't home. I rode my bike for an hour to the Blockbuster just to return it because I thought they were
You're
gonna
blurring
like
out.
I thought they were gonna like arrest me or something if I didn't return it. So I rode my bike for an hour just to return the game.
Jeez, that's
like
far.
back in the day when you had to like rewind the tapes for them and stuff. Like it's just such a
Oh yeah, be kind, rewind.
yeah, it's such a weird concept. Now it seems so ridiculous when now
Mm.
everything's so instant. But that was like a thing.
Well,
Be
that's
kind,
your favorite place, I
rewind.
guess.
But wasn't it cool to get like when you got to that certain age and you actually got a Blockbuster card? You're like, man, I'm old enough to do this now.
I don't think I ever got
Well,
like my own
You're not
car.
necessarily not old enough.
No, you
It
had to be a certain
disappeared.
age to actually be rented.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't.
they're
Did
probably all shut down by the time I was old enough.
Yeah, I
Wasn't it? It didn't shut down around two.
I feel like as I got older, I
Mhm.
like when I was like old enough to do that kind of stuff. Like Redbox was already out. Like Redbox was out
No.
when we started like working at Hannaford. Yeah, it was.
That's what shut them
No.
down.
Scott, we were old
Nah.
enough to actually rent stuff because I remember actually getting
Well,
cards.
how old were you? Like 13 or something? Because I started working at Hannaford when I was like 14, and
But they didn't close till after that.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
but
old
there
enough.
was still
I
around.
rented a game, so we were old enough too.
Yeah.
It must have
Yeah,
been
I
somewhat
didn't care
younger,
enough.
but all right. Before we go like too far down this trend, Brian's question was your favorite place that you've visited, and Christian, you've been to Puerto Rico, right?
I would say the best place I've been to.
Well,
No,
you've
but
answered-
you
okay.
like Blockbuster
No, okay, I
better
would
than
say
Blockbuster
it
better than
is.
Puerto Rico. I'm just asking a question. I was just trying to like get a like if we're talking about like places that give you like
Yeah, like
nostalgia.
anywhere.
Blockbuster's cool, I guess, but like if you're talking like favorite place in the world you've been to, like
Like anywhere,
That's the
any
thing,
place
I
you've
didn't
gone
really
to.
travel as much.
Blockbuster
So
on
that's the
38.
only place that I will actually go to.
All right.
That
I mean, yeah, that's your answer. That's fine.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But I was just saying, like when you went to Puerto Rico, you sent me pictures and stuff. It looked awesome.
He's like, I know. Hear me out. It was
is
nice,
a beautiful
but
place.
Blockbuster.
Like right now, it's not like as great as it was since the whole like
the friendly
tsunami and
environment wasn't
whatnot.
there. There was
There's no
I didn't get
treats.
treats when I went. Yeah,
No,
they didn't give me
There was no
I didn't get the treats when I
Blockbusters in
was-
Puerto Rico.
I didn't do the backflips when I had to get that certain thing I wanted.
Yeah.
I've never seen you do a backflip. But I would give you a
Eventually
treat if you did
I'll
one.
go back.
The next
But
goal for the Boy with the Boys stream is for Christian to do a backflip.
And get a
But
treat.
we definitely
and get a
need you to
treat.
go with the boys travel.
What?
Oh, he said.
Oh, the boys what?
Travel.
Oh yeah, maybe eventually we'll do some trips. Oh my god, everyone's
Maybe
hands
we'll
on the
do an
cameras.
E3.
It'll autofocus on its own.
Imagine that. Do an E3 but with the boys.
That's gonna be like the last thing that comes back.
Pack-
Yeah,
Jeez,
those
some
will
shit.
like never come back based on
Those big conventions.
like just giant
It's gonna be a long time.
audiences. Once things come
The
back,
last-
I'm down for concerts before like
I can tell you this. The
Conventions.
last thing
Yeah.
I went to that was
Me.
freaking amazing was a Comic-Con. I love like the first time I went there was amazing. Just to be around.
So you liked it
people-
better than Blockbuster?
Huh, what? No, I didn't hear you. What do you say?
I said, you like it better than Blockbuster?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
The thing is, like, let's
This
be
guy
real. Like,
Christian, he's
the only I know you guys went to Walking Dead convention. I've been to
Yeah.
a PAX convention. I've been to a Comic-Con convention, anime convention. Trying to think of other. No, those are the only three I've been to, but they were really good. Just because you're around people that love the same things that you love too, like
yeah. I feel like you're giving
Don't
really
just,
good
like-
answers, but
No, I get it. Yeah.
like
It's an-
the
I feel
feeling
like
that
you're
you-
answering a
yeah, I
different
know,
question.
I know. I'm going out of the whole.
no, like
thing,
I feel
but-
like you're giving good answers, but I feel like you're answering a slightly different question, which isn't the
Yeah.
wrong. Like you're almost answering like what's like some of the favorite things like
It's a
you've
twist.
done, not necessarily places you've gone, because like you're naming like really
Yeah, I
cool
know.
things that are still that, but it's
Well,
like
I can't really answer the question that
Yeah.
Brian said just
No,
because I
that's-
haven't been traveling as much as you guys.
yeah, no, that works.
I haven't traveled at all.
All right,
Really?
Brian, you
All
can
right,
go
so,
next.
so Brian, what's your favorite place?
The
you've
only
been?
place I've traveled other than like New England is DC. That was pretty sick. I love that.
So
We
you're
visiting all the monuments and shit. That was cool. The Lincoln, all the museums.
Yeah, DC was cool. I've been to DC. I mean, outside of the U.S., I've only been to Aruba, like on my honeymoon, which is like obviously ridiculous. It's like super nice. Like,
Is that the furthest you haven't been?
yeah.
Okay.
DC
I mean,
was the furthest I've ever been.
but in the States, I mean, I've been to a bunch of places. I've been like down the
Yeah.
East Coast all the way to Florida. I've been out to like Vegas and like a lot of the places I've done in the United States, like Tim's probably done too. Like
Oh, yeah.
we did Florida when we drove down
Oh, the road
the
trip.
road trip thing. Like that was Tim was there.
That was fun.
We did Tim
That's hard.
and Michelle did Ohio. We did Cedar Point, which is
But didn't you guys go to state to state?
what?
Yeah, road trip. Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, we drove across the states, but we went to like
Well, we
a
didn't stop in every state, but we went.
we went to an
drove
amusement park in Ohio, which
New
was like
Jersey.
it was pretty cool. Like the park was really fun, and just the whole trip was like pretty cool. Like we did New Jersey and Ohio, that was fun.
Yeah.
Vegas was like really cool. Like if you have the
Yeah.
time and the money and
money.
the know-how and stuff like that, like Vegas is pretty insane.
But the
It's-
one thing is that you told me one of your journeys was Legoland.
Oh yeah, I did Legoland in Mall of America. Well, not Legoland.
Oh yeah.
I'm not, I've never been to actual Legoland, but we did like a big Lego thing when I went to Mall of America in Minnesota. That was actually Mall of America was pretty awesome. There's a lot of places in the U.S. Like I've never been like outside like in Europe or Asia or anything. Like I haven't traveled to those places, and that's usually where people end up saying is really good. But like in the U.S., I feel like I've been to like a lot of cool places. Like I said, Vegas was like pretty sweet, and Mall of America was cool, and Disneyland or Disney World is always like
Yeah. I was gonna say it's hard to say too. Like you said, the road trips and stuff. Like those are all fun. I wouldn't say like anywhere we went on those trips. I don't know where the best place is,
Yeah.
but the whole like trip themselves were really fun and like some of the best times I've had. So it's hard to say like when you say like your favorite place.
yeah, it's not a place. That's more like
Like, I
what
don't
Christian was
know.
answering. It's kind of like thing that you've
Yeah.
done was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like
Like mine probably it would be in between like my favorite place that I like visited. I don't know. It might be in between like Vegas and like Disney, probably. I don't know.
Disney, just because it's like massive, and it's like, even if like it seems
Yeah.
like it's for kids, it's just literally just so much to do.
Yeah, I want to say. I was gonna say that because like even me, like I was never like super. I was never like, yeah, I want to go to Disney. Like Disney.
Want to
and
hug
then, like,
Mickey Mouse?
Yeah, like I
so-
never really like wanted to go necessarily.
Yeah.
And then when they like you guys went, and I was like,
Tell
oh
me
yeah, I'll
the-
come.
your
Like I'm
baby
really,
ear
really
goof.
glad I went. I'm like super glad I went because I ended up like really, really, really enjoying
Yeah,
it.
it's like
it was awesome.
It's just like I said, it's just so much to do. Like there's like adult things
Yeah.
to do, like crazy rides, but it's just like everything you see is just so ridiculously well done.
Yeah,
It's literally like a crazy thing to see. So like Disney's definitely like up on the list, and Vegas just because like everything you hear from Vegas is like pretty much true. Vegas is just like
I wish I
weirdly.
went with you
Did
guys.
you,
to
did you
that.
guys go to Orlando? Like Universal Studio? and
Yeah,
whatnot?
we went to Universal as well. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, no, not
Okay.
with
No,
you.
no, no.
I went.
I just said
I went
yes.
with
I was like,
Michelle
yep.
to Universal,
yeah,
which is
they
pretty
went.
cool. But Disney, they're separate. They're like not in the
Yeah.
same area, but Disney's like way bigger. Universal's just like these
So-
two little parks connected to each other.
So between the two Disneys, which one did you went to? Both of them?
I've only been to Disney
Florida
World.
and,
World is in
Or
Florida.
no, you haven't been to California yet.
California is Disneyland.
land?
Disneyland is a lot smaller. There's one in like Japan and Paris and like other places too.
Yeah, there's Disneylands everywhere.
But Disneyland is a lot smaller in California. Like I know people that I work with in California that say they go like all the time because it's like a little bit quicker. But Disney World in Florida is like massive.
I feel like right now, like once the whole COVID starts to go a little slower and they start reopening certain things, I feel like it's going to be a little bit cheaper to actually go places.
I think at first it definitely will be because like,
Mm.
dude, Disney alone. I was just
Yeah.
reading something. They fired like 80% of people who work at Disney. Like that sucks for those people. But it's like you can see that like literally they do, at least that portion of Disney. Obviously they have plenty of other movies and stuff like that. But like
Mhm.
the parks literally are just like it's just people going there and standing in crowds. It's like they've been hit like super hard. And for such a place that like employs like hundreds of thousands of people, like it sucks for all those people.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean
Yeah,
so
they're
they just-
definitely gonna put like deals on everything, just every event, every freaking show,
You
everything.
think
is just
so? Or
gonna-
you think they're gonna try and be greedy and take their money back?
So they just announced
Mm.
Nintendo
Not
Land
upfront.
in Japan. So they actually showed like Super Mario World or whatnot. That looks like pretty like, cool scenario.
I
to
think we
actually
should go to
inside
Japan.
Mario World. What?
I
Go
think
to
we
Japan?
should go to Japan. Board to Boys Japan.
There's
Yeah,
like
no,
honestly,
there's so
I
much cool
think-
stuff over in Japan, man. I've seen stuff.
So okay, since Birdie answered the
Okay,
subject
okay.
on like the best place to go to, let's talk about what do you think would be the best adventure that we would go on for our first trip.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
also a couple different things. So I'll jump in first. So I would say like if we're talking like money based trip, I don't know, probably like going to Vegas and just like
Yeah,
not do anything crazy, but like just
again,
literally
but-
being there and like going to bars and a show and stuff like that. But it's like
gambling and
that's serious money, but it would be like
You
a
guys,
crazy time.
You guys could see Tiesto because me and Scott get to see Tiesto.
Yeah, like that was
You guys do.
like Vegas.
Okay,
Like if we're
we're
talking
talking
like
about
big money, it would be
all
like
of us.
Vegas.
Screw you
Yeah.
guys.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you guys, we all went to Vegas, and then you guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I-
if like money wasn't like an option type of thing, like I think Vegas would be cool. Obviously, it's like the rest of the world, but like just based on what I know, I feel like Vegas would be really cool. But I think a really cool trip
Yeah.
that we could do would be like a camping trip, like an actual like a
Oh, yeah.
remote
Mhm.
like campground, like not even a campground, like
that.
actually going to a place and like camping straight up like wood style, and then like exploring and trying to find like abandoned
Yes.
buildings and stuff like that. Like we could not only get some cool content, but that would just be like really cool to like just be like
hell yeah.
just with yourselves, like out
getting
camping.
lost
I've
in the
always
woods,
wanna-
no cell
I've
reception.
always
I
wanted to
love
do
it.
that. Yeah, I've always wanted to
drunk.
do like a camping trip.
Yeah, so like I feel like
like
realistically,
camping.
like fun wise, like you can have so much fun just like by yourselves. You know what I mean? Just like laughing, having a good time. So I feel like that would be a really cool trip. I would definitely want to do like with the group.
So the Scott say trip to more camping grounds. So what would you say, Brian?
I would have to say
DC.
it doesn't necessarily matter where, but maybe like somewhere where we could all like get like a sick beach house and like just
Like we each
rip
get
it
our
up
own
for a
beach
week-
house.
Like rip it up for a weekend, like
Like somewhere
scuba
we could
diving,
all get our own
snorkeling.
beach house.
Somewhere where there's like surfable waves and shit.
So damn, now we know how to
Ooh,
surf
that'd be
too.
cool.
I don't know,
Maybe
just
Hawaii.
somewhere
Yeah.
like where we
They
could just
say
have
Hawaii.
fun for like a whole backpacking off of Scott's answer. Somewhere where we could just
Yeah, so you
just
saying more
have
like
fun.
Hawaii, like California.
Wherever,
Even just like
on the
up north,
coast.
let's say like a house on the beach, renting
Yeah.
it with like all your friends. It's like that'd be cool.
We
It
could go to
almost
Australia
doesn't
and
matter.
scuba dive the coral reef.
Yeah, it almost doesn't matter. Like where, like honestly, like anything would be so fun.
So,
Just those.
so Tim, what do you think? Besides what Scott and Brian gave her an answer, what would you think of an ideal trip would be?
Was this
Like,
be
yeah, so I like both of them. I like Vegas.
Festival.
You know, that wasn't really his answer, but yeah, I know.
EDC
That's-
Vegas.
Yeah,
You guys
Combine
didn't
them.
answer.
I
That
would-
should just answer.
well, because
Combine
that's what
them.
I was thinking. I'm thinking something like where there's shows and stuff, where there's concerts and like where we can go out, like kind of like what you said, like kind of like the Vegas part of it, where we go out, like one night we can hang out, like go to a bar one night, or just catch a show one night, or like go to a show or a concert one night, like something like that. So like a festival, doing like one of the big ones for like a weekend or something, or even when they do it in New York, going for like a week or something, and just hang out in New York and just doing things there, and then going to the festival
Yeah.
too for like a couple days, like something you can do a lot of stuff.
Do you say more like a excision type of show? Like was
No,
it-
like
Oh, just like
EDC,
something
like
big, just
EDC, who
something
has
huge,
like
yeah.
like every
There's like
every
like
person
mad
ever.
people.
yeah, isn't it Lost Lands is the big one?
Oh,
Well, that's Lost Lands. Like
That's
is
dubstep.
that's his, but that's
yeah, that's like
EDC's
Excision's
like
thing.
way. EDC is probably the biggest US show they put on.
Yeah, EDC is huge.
Like Excision's been at
But yeah.
EDC. Like EDC has everybody, but like the thing about EDC, they have it like Tim said in New York and Vegas. Is like if you go to like what's like the big one in Sweden or whatever it's called there.
Tomorrowland.
Yeah, Tomorrowland's like you're kind of like in a really remote area because of like the way they do it. So like you kind of just there
Which is-
camping and
yeah,
kind of there.
It's cool in itself. It's like a different experience.
But like
but
yeah, which is a cool
And that
experience. But
kind of
like,
combines.
if you're like in Vegas, like you can do Vegas
Yeah.
during the day and then hit up the concert at night or like kind of like go back and forth because
Mhm.
you're in the area. So like I feel like that's like a double
Yeah.
vacation kind of thing, which would be sweet.
we should do that. Either EDC Vegas or like EDC New York.
I mean, New York would be a
Just
lot
like, say for,
easier.
like, and do like a week
but-
and do like a week. Like do a week where we can do stuff like because it's usually on the weekends or like maybe if you go like Wednesday to like Sunday or something or like so you have some days to explore and do other stuff and then you have the days you can go to the concert and stuff
yeah,
as well.
that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. What about it, Christian? Was that your answer, Christian?
No, my answer is going to the E3. Just to experience any
Like
anything
the full
convention-wise.
San Diego one, like the big one.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah,
comic.
that'd be
That
cool.
would be
Well,
cool. Like the
the
full
thing
one
is-
and seeing like
Oh, well.
panels of like the actual people talking and stuff would be pretty sweet.
Like E3 for us is like more representing what we do. It's mostly just gaming, basically like Magic. What you guys mostly do. I still need to learn on that stuff, but like,
still need to buy a deck?
and for me, it's any convention,
Yeah,
comic convention. E3 is a big one.
yeah.
The electronic shows, whatnot.
Yeah, CES.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean E3 is cool because I mean growing up like I always wanted to go to E3 because literally like that's where you find out about new systems and everything. But like E3 is big now where it's like you have like shows and movies that have like panels that come up and talk so you can like meet people and stuff. So I mean like E3 would be a really cool thing. The only thing with those is like they're hectic in a different kind of way than concerts are.
Mhm.
Because concerts are hectic, but you're there, like you're in a collective hectic. But like at like a convention, you're just like it's just chaos, and like if you lose each other, you just straight up like you just don't see them like, all
But
day.
it's so cool. Like, to tell you guys, like
Alright.
for example, like I went to PAX. It's so cool to actually talk.
You need like a barrel or something.
So it's so cool to actually go to like PAX and talk to people that like love gaming and like love the certain things that you love. You go back and forth without like
I've been to
having any
PAX.
hate or discrimination against each other.
Yeah,
And just like have this cool conversation that you always wanted to talk to instead of like talking all that like politics and whatnot. Like
small talk.
this is more common ground for us to be
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, any situation where you're in a group of a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah, well, that's, I mean that's like what we talk about with the concerts. It's like you go there and it's like everyone's sort of like kind of vibing, so no one's really like. I mean, I guess you're not really even talking, but like you're all kind of like on the same level, like regardless of what
You're all there to just have fun and
yeah, regardless of what your views
be
and stuff
yourself.
on. So yeah, it's the same thing. Like at a gaming convention, you're both like excited for the same thing. So like yeah, anything like that I think is cool. I would say another answer that I kind of just thought of like in related to gaming is like gaming with friends and stuff is cool because you have like a collective competitiveness. Like I think it'd be cool to do like more competitive things together in real life. Like obviously there's like paintball, which is like really cool because it's like competitive and you're like kind of on the same team. It's like it'd be cool to do like
hell yeah, I love paintball.
A tournament of sorts, like for something as a group, and try to like collectively win something,
like enter and
like physically, like something
As a
physical,
team.
whether it's
Mr.
paintball or
Beast
like
style.
yeah, like something like paintball or some sport or something where it's like the group of us or the team can like do something in a physical manner, like in real life. I think would be
we
cool.
should get Mr. Beast to put us in one of his challenges. The boys Mr. Beast challenge.
as a team.
like
It'd be like the four of us, in
the four
his
of us
video. That'd be
sit
sick.
in a Tesla for 3 days to win it.
Yep.
Some of his
I would
yeah,
do
Really
it.
bad, but
but yeah, I don't know, I think that'd be cool. Like I said, the first thing that comes to mind is like paintball. It's like usually when you go paintball and you play with like your friends basically, and you're facing each other. But like it'd be cool to like do like a tournament style like teams of 4 and like have like a freaking like a real life war zone where it's like we were a freaking quad with in like a paintball
dropped
map.
in,
Like
yeah.
how cool would that be?
That'd be awesome.
Instead of like
That'd be
looting and having it be like 12 cities wide, it would just be like like a decent size, but you each start and you each have to like you have your guns, but you gotta like find ammo for the gun and stuff like that. Like as a squad, like that'd be so cool. Like fill it with the paintballs and stuff. I think we just invented like a really cool paintball mode.
But that's more of like
I think
what
they've
we
done
talk-
that. Like some
well,
places do that.
That's more like our concept. What we talked about back in our podcast with
Podcast?
renting
What are you talking about, Christian?
I think his mic cut out. So
podcast where we were talking
Good
about
Lord,
where
we're talking about
going into the
fireball.
warehouse and whatnot.
talk about CODs.
Oh yeah, I mean, my favorite thing I would want to
Competition.
do with you guys ever is friggin'
His favorite thing would be want to do you guys.
Oh, I didn't know you.
Dude, nobody can talk right now.
Oh my god.
All right,
Favorite thing
restart.
would do
I
you
have
guys.
another one, Christian.
My absolute favorite thing to do with this group would definitely be friggin' buy a warehouse and like form a future of sorts. It's like yeah,
Hell yeah. Garlic knots.
garlic knots.
Yep.
So yeah, Christian, for your answer, yeah, that would definitely be sweet. But that's obviously less realistic, even though it's still a goal. But yeah, that would be friggin' amazing.
Imagine that we take 1 month just to do everything that we like, just to do every like going to Vegas, going to like what was that?
DD.
Knee deep. It was called knee deep. Christian.
No,
I
what
think
was
that-
that? What was that?
I think it's yeast.
EDC?
Yeast. Yeast.
Yeezys, Christian.
Yeah. Well, whatever. And then
Christian, say your ABCs backwards right now.
No one can do that normally.
going to convention and then going
Yeah.
to
Like live it up for a month and then
shit.
what? And
then camping.
and then we're all broke.
Whatnot.
Yeah.
there
And then
we
we
go.
all no
And
one
then
has a job.
our
and-
wives yell at us.
Yeah,
and
if I'm gone for a month doing everything I've ever dreamed of without my family,
Oh, God.
that would go over so well.
Oh,
Just for
shit.
Oh,
content.
jeez. I'd be broke, have no family, and be like, sweet, now we're all homeless together. It's another dream.
Well, technically, we're quitting our jobs just to start this company. You know,
I think a month
In a
is
warehouse.
rough, but
That's a little.
I mean, it's
I would
weeks.
have
Honestly,
to-
like if we could all like physically just straight up quit and like go do those types of things, we would have to do it in a lesser manner, not like blow it all in a Vegas trip because that wouldn't help us really save. But like, go hard doing a bunch of trips in real life trips mixed with the gaming stuff. We could make a big impression, but that's a lot of work because it's not just doing the stuff. We got to like make content, make videos, and do all the other stuff.
we need a lot more equipment.
Yeah, we need a lot of cameras, all that other stuff. So yeah, it's a big investment. So
coming soon.
you got to start saving, Christian. Get off these.
No, well, this is the
No.
group-
Stop buying.
No,
This is
Whoa,
this is
yeah.
full circle
Disrespect
coming back to
skins.
you. Start saving,
we
and we
all
can
know
make this
eventually-
happen.
Invest in. The
I can tell you
boys.
by the next year, we'll eventually have our own gaming room that you provided us, and then we'll start.
Damn.
Well, technically it's Scott's basement, so that's gonna be our main.
I like he's
headquarters
throwing
for
that
now.
out there. I like how Christian's throwing that out there. He's like, all right, guys, I got this. Scott, You're gonna get us a gaming room.
You're gonna get us a gaming room. You're gonna do.
You're
this?
welcome. You're welcome. That was me. That was all me.
Yeah, it's on the list.
Technically, that's
It's
going to
on
be the startup.
list.
Like this is the beginning, and then moving forward in the whole COVID whatnot. This ends.
Then we go camping.
Then we think.
Yeah,
What
we
we're
talked
gonna do
about
next
this. We
after
talked
that.
about this a bunch of times on other podcasts. Like, yeah, we have obviously a lot of plans that haven't really come to fruition based on the year's goals. All right, I want to switch up the topics because I saw something that was kind of crazy this week, completely unrelated. I think we've kind of talked through this topic, even though we didn't really stay on the stay on the topic. So I saw that China is making progress on a weather changing machine. Like it's literally like a real thing. Like they're working on a machine that can like adjust the weather. I don't know any.
They like already have that here. They've already like built one of those, or in the UK, I think.
Never
Well,
heard
they
of
already built
one.
COVID, so
Oh god. Don't mind what he said. Like I said, I don't look at any of the science of it. I know they have some things that they can do to manipulate stuff like that, but like they're making like really crazy advancements. So like I don't want to talk about like specifics of like how it works or whatever, but like imagine if it was possible to get to a
It's just
point
another way to control
where
their
you could
people.
like straight up
Communism
control
sucks.
like weather. Like what in what direction would you see that going? Do you see it going of like
well,
like if let's say we had full control with the government, whoever, like is it just straight up like on a schedule, like nice days every day, and then like the occasional rain for the crops
Like
and
rain
whatever?
when we need it.
well, technically, China doesn't even snow.
Oh, Chris.
In
well, there
parts
is
of
like
it.
there's like the world itself. They don't stop the snow. Like some areas in
No,
China
it's-
just may not have snow based on where they
Isn't
are.
it located more in the middle, like south?
Middle south.
What?
Well, it's not, this
I mean,
isn't
they
necessarily
have,
like,
about
in the
areas that
equator?
have
this isn't
snow.
necessarily about
Northern
China.
way higher.
Like yeah, it
That's
doesn't
higher.
snow in Africa either, but that's just geography. But I meant like in general, like if we had full control over the weather, like is that a good thing? Like what direction do
No.
you see
I don't.
it going?
I don't like it.
It's
I don't.
who
like that.
controls
No, I hate
it?
Doesn't it?
Horrible idea.
Yeah,
it's just
that's
messing with
sketchy.
our climate change. And like,
Yeah, I feel like it would.
like if we make it snow in Texas, that's just be weird because it did happen.
Well, no
once.
one's gonna want to do.
Yeah,
that.
I don't think.
If anyone is, if someone's gonna control it, it's gonna be like optimal everywhere. It's gonna be like, but that's the thing. Like, who's controlling it? Like, who?
Yeah.
I don't know, it wouldn't work. But it would be like optimal weather.
So, I mean, I
everywhere.
think if you talk in
And,
like
like,
some realistic terms of like, you can't make what's currently not possible. Like, if it never snows in Texas, like you can't make it snow in Texas, type of thing. Like they can't change like the
Yeah.
position of the Earth and the sun. But like let's say in Massachusetts, you get all 4 seasons, but you get really heavy like winter. Like we have 4 seasons, but we have like a really heavy winter, at least a long winter with cold and whatever. So if they can say like, okay, well it's not going to be as cold, or like when it snows, we can make a light snow or something, and then in the summer we'll make it like a little less hot, and then we'll rain like
Less humid.
it will rain every Wednesday or something like that. Like, is that better? Like, it seems awesome, but at the same time, it's like
It's a way to control.
I don't even know how they would do.
I know.
that, though.
Like I said, maybe that's never.
I know
possible.
the rain thing. They can do rain because they already have a thing that.
Yeah,
does
they have like a
that. They
cloud
already-
manipulator thing.
Yeah, it like generates a cloud that like pumps up into the atmosphere, and then like miles down, like hours later, it will rain somewhere.
Yeah.
Like that's already a
Yeah.
thing. Like I know they can do that, but like other than that, I don't see how they would manipulate like weather really in any other way.
But
that
I
would
feel like-
be not just terrible to everything.
Like what Christian said, like I feel like it would definitely have some adverse effect on the environment. Like the environment is
yeah.
doing what it
Yeah, yeah.
does, and if as soon as you
it's
adjust
supposed
it,
to do
you're
it.
gonna like just mess it all up.
Yeah, screw up everything.
Yeah, I don't. That's
Like
not
you don't want to
really
snow
good.
in Mexico.
Well, you keep saying he keeps going to that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's not even possible. So I'm saying like
Or like Alaska getting warm climates.
yes. Yeah,
I'm throwing
obviously
some
it's
real facts. Screw you guys.
no, I'm saying like, oh yeah, obviously those aren't like practical. But let's say like Alaska is always -40, and they're like, okay, we're gonna change it to be like, I don't know, maybe they even that
50.
doesn't make sense because all the areas depend on their current weather. So I don't know. I saw the article that they're like working to make advancements for it, and I just thought of like what's the end?
Yeah, they should stop
like what's
that.
the end game of that science? It's like, oh, like we can make a cloud that rains. It's like, okay, that's great. Like that'll help with like a drought maybe.
It'll
but it's
make
like,
people stay indoors.
Well,
and
I can
control
say
them.
Yeah,
you
honestly,
know what I mean? It's like, I want to know like the
without trying
end
to get-
game.
well,
try to not get too awful politically. China's end game is not good.
yeah, I can imagine.
they're never good. And like China, like it's hard to say. Like I said, I don't want to get too awful here, but like China's like people are great. Like there's good people there. China's a great place. They have great culture, a lot of stuff. But right now they're being ruled by a communist
Martial
party
arts.
that is not good.
Yeah,
And like basically, if China is doing that, it's not like for a good
beneficial.
thing.
It's not a benefit for the people.
Yeah, it's
Isn't it crazy
because,
that-
like the government controls everything? Like they control the science, they control the technology, so everything that happens there is the government, which
Isn't
is not really great.
Isn't
Which
it
sucks.
crazy that anything more on that side of the planet, they're creating more things than what the United States is actually showing us?
I mean,
Maybe they're just not. We're just
Maybe,
not
I don't
telling our people.
I get your
Or they're
question,
hiding
but I
it.
would
Yeah,
say
you-
that's
you know what I'm saying?
literally
Like-
again, without diving super into politics, like there's
Yeah.
probably more you know about China than you know about the U.S. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. Like there's probably more stuff that happens
Yeah.
here that we don't know about than things that happen
Mhm.
elsewhere that we don't know about. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they can control the information here more than they can control leaks from like other nations. So it's like as weird as that sounds, you probably know less about your own country than you do about like other countries.
Yeah,
That's just like I said, without going crazy politics. None of us are like experts on that stuff, so I don't want to like
I'm an expert.
so
go
like
on that topic.
imagine
Yeah.
if they
I would
make
say,
like
I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I did take a lot of like.
so
Chinese
imagine like
politics
they make it
classes.
like a time
It's
machine
very
of
interesting.
some sorts that you can travel back in time and whatnot.
I don't think they did that.
It's possible.
well, not yet.
It's not possible if they
Not
haven't
yet.
done it.
Well, yeah, I think there's like some equation out there that like is like, oh, if you can solve this, it's possible. But it's like basically like involves things that aren't even real. Like if someone invents this,
just
and
have to
someone
do this.
invents
So-
this, and then you put them together, it's like what?
So you actually seen like I actually seen a couple articles saying that we're actually living in a simulation of some sorts. Do you believe
Yeah,
in
that's
that?
a theory.
Well, that's what Elon Musk said. There's like a 1% chance that this is basically living in the Matrix type of thing. I feel like we talked
I
about
don't
this
buy
too.
it.
I mean, it's possible, but I don't.
It's
think
absolutely possible.
Somebody's
because
just playing a game of Sims or something, and they're like,
it's the fact that we
Okay,
think
let's
it's
get more garlic nuts.
the fact that we think it's not possible and that kind of thing is exactly why it could be possible because we just don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you don't know if you're in something like that, and the fact that we're saying, "Oh, it's probably not possible," we literally could be the result of it being possible, which is kind
Yeah,
of
that's what I
crazy.
mean,
Like,
like, it is possible, but I don't think it's the case.
yeah,
Like,
I don't think it's the case just based on like
yeah, but
our
yeah.
wider view of just like everything and like the intricacies of the universe and that kind of thing. But it's like the thought of like you thinking it's not possible, meaning it could be possible, is just very strange.
I mean, that's the thing. Like the technology of the simulation itself could be so advanced that we think we're exploring
Exactly.
the universe, but we're just exploring the simulation even further.
Yeah.
mm.
Okay.
That
Like
explains
you
it.
would never know.
All right, well,
You
yeah,
would never
okay. To
know.
continue this topic a little bit, so it's like, I don't think we've talked about this, but like, we might have. Anyways, we'll talk about it again. So like, to Tim's point, like, let's say we discover and we get to a point in 1,000 years where we're like, we can travel at light speed now.
Hell yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is sweet. It's gonna be like freaking Star Wars. We go into like galaxies and galaxies, and then we're like, oh, we're like going, like we're cruising past Pluto. We're like just going out, and then we just crash into this fucking wall. You know what I mean? Like
Or just like you
Actually,
just
that
like get
happened.
out of it, and then you're just in like this like
you're in like
weird
this white room. There's
just,
people on like
yeah,
chairs with
exactly.
notepads.
somebody's bed.
Yeah,
And like
You just-
the existent,
like wow, it took them 7 billion years to get out of the simulation.
Yeah.
but then like that point is what always at least drove like me crazy. And whenever I talk to Tim about it, it drove us crazy. So it's like if there was a wall at the edge of the universe, that's just like the idea that there's a wall is scary and insane. If there is no wall and it goes on forever, like what the fuck does that mean?
There has
too?
to be an end. I feel like there has to.
So
You know what I
it's
mean?
more
So it's
like,
like-
Yeah, oh god, yes, we. Oh
It's
god, we
A
talked
or
about
there's
B.
an end.
Imagine it-
A or B is
so-
so goddamn troubling.
Either
to
one.
think
so
of.
so
Yes.
imagine it was like a live action TV show like Truman Show. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
What?
Truman
Okay.
Truman
Oh,
Show.
yeah.
Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, like imagine that. Like you go to the end of like for me, if I didn't travel that much and I go to the end of like a certain place and I'm like, wow, I haven't been here, and I actually hit a wall. And I'm like, well, this is all fake. Like,
Mhm.
well, what is your idea of
Like if you hit like a Truman style wall where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a computer screen type wall where you're like, what the fuck?
yeah, like
yeah,
Like you're in a fishbowl.
yeah. So I mean, I
don't
can-
know.
I
Like, I
was
feel
thinking
like-
more like grander, but it's like
Yeah, we're gonna much bigger
on
scale.
like a planetary scale, like I would think like it's some like billionaires like freaking sadistic game that you're in or something, because like you see that in movies that capture you and just watch you because there's freaking
Yeah, it's a little more realistic.
yeah, it's a little more
almost do
realistic,
that.
but like
on a
like the space
on a galaxy,
the space idea, it's like yeah,
size.
you hit the wall and it's like, oh, it's some weird simulation. We're in some freaking simulated environment.
We're in
Yeah.
a giant cube.
Yeah, we're in some cube or something that's like that. So like the existence of a wall, it's almost scary because you're like, oh shit, if there's a wall, something there's something beyond it. There's something higher than that.
So that's the weirdest thing
It's-
too, because you said like it can't, like if it's endless, it's like what is
What
that
is
mean?
endless?
But then if you said, like there's a wall, there's something beyond that. But wouldn't that mean there's no wall? Like if there's something beyond the wall, that means it keeps going as well.
Well,
so like the
So
fact, like
not that there's something
you know what I mean?
beyond the wall, but if there's a wall, that means space is
Something made the
confined
wall?
and like
I guess
there has like nothing can be confined. I don't know. Again, we're not physics.
it just goes on
we're not
forever. No
physics
matter
definition
what.
of
The universe is flat.
By definition, definition of a wall, I feel like they're made to keep you in or out, right?
Well, yeah,
Unless
so
you
it's
put
like
a door.
I get you. Can't, I say whether you hit a wall, you hit like
So-
the end. Like, do you hit this thing where it's like some weird black hole where it's just like atoms are just getting all like messed up and like eaten and destroyed, and it's like that's just the edge, and it's like building itself, and the universe is expanding. But it's like if you look at anything like on a computer and you have something, you're looking at something big, and you zoom out, it gets small. You know what I mean? So it's like if you have the universe, it's like this big. Like, what's all this? It's like, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's nothing, but like what is that? Like what is nothing? I don't know. Just
What
the
is
whole
nothing?
conversation is like it's very confusing.
Because they're like, I know, because I don't like from like a physics and like all that standpoint. I don't think you.
You can't like quantify it because if it's ever expanding, like what you know what I mean? Like it's always growing, but like what's it growing into? Like what there's just nothing and then it's growing into it. Like, how much
Yeah, like,
nothing
is
is
a void a
there? Is
thing?
there just a
It
void?
probably is.
Like
there probably is. Like a void probably is a thing that we just like you said, we're not,
Like,
we
for example,
we can't
like
understand it
scientists.
because we're not.
like
we
a
don't
void
know.
is like literally just like a fold in like time, even though time is our own perspective,
Yeah.
but like a void is just like it's not a thing, it's just what like
I'm like, what is
I know
that?
it's ugh.
It's there when you make
Dude, this
it.
this
Ugh.
keeps me up at night like
I know,
freaking
but like
once a
just
week.
try to think.
Imagine
what
like the
nothing
next day
is.
we like found a planet that we never discovered.
That's it.
Okay.
Dude, you know we do that like almost every day, right?
Oh my god, Christian, that
No,
happens.
like no joke. Like we find planets like almost every day. If you follow like the right like science blogs and stuff, we're
Yeah.
finding stuff every day with the power of like these telescopes and stuff, which is literally insane. Like
Christian.
Like since we launched the new like Space Force whatnot.
Space Force hasn't done shit. I'll tell you that right now. It's like a hypothetical thing. It's everything we know about like space and whatever is through like telescopes and stuff like
Did
that.
you mean SpaceX?
Whatever.
Well, even SpaceX is more of like a rocket adventure
God.
like
Right.
thing than it is anything.
Yeah,
It's just
I
like
know.
trying to make rockets more efficient, more better. It's not like that's nothing really to do about space travel yet. Like they're trying to get
Exploration or anything.
yeah. It's like it's getting
Like,
to
I'm
the
sure though that's his
yeah.
goal.
That's the goal. But like
to
right
get
now, like
there.
the whole SpaceX and like the Falcon program, the Dragon program, all that is like making the rockets more efficient and reusable and all that stuff. But like yeah, we're finding stuff in space all the time. But like, if you ever seen like that chart, like the exponential chart, where it's like our universe, and it's like trying to show like the thing, like it's like our universe,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like that's
This is our universe.
and like that's the sun, and then it's like oh this is the, like this other big thing like
Yeah, it's like
The size of Jupiter, the size of this star.
yeah,
the
and it's like
size
oh
of-
like and then we found this other thing, and then like the sun is like this little thing on this map, and then there's like this fucking massive star. It's like another sun, and it's like that's just out there. Like that doesn't even make any sense. Like our sun is just so much bigger than the Earth, and like the sun is like this, and there's like fucking planets that are this big. Like that's insane. Like the size of the universe. But then like again, this when you think size, it gets
like,
to that point.
physically hurts my
You
head.
can, I don't. It's
to
like you
think
can't.
about.
It's yeah. It's
That's
either
painful
we
to
just
think
don't
about
have the
that.
capacity
Where's
to
my head?
understand at that level, or
we don't.
it's just in a zone that we just can't explain yet. Like we don't have any like explanation for. Because we think size, and you think like, okay, my mouse is this big. You know what I mean? It's like the universe is just like you can't. It doesn't have a size,
Yeah.
and that's what's puzzling.
I
You know what I
guess
mean?
'cause
That's
we-
what's puzzling about it.
Because like I guess as humans, like we kind of invented ways to measure.
We invented
things, so
ways
I mean,
around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything that we see is through our perspective of our units of measurement that we made to comprehend things.
Mm.
And that's out of that unit. There's nothing out there that's in that same scale or field that we like.
Yeah, it's just a whole different scale because we don't live in space, so we don't calculate things by like light years. We calculate things
space
by like
measurements,
by our gravity and our this and our that. Like, but when you think of like
just like Pluto, it used to be a planet. Now it's like getting smaller and whatnot.
No, it's not getting smaller. It's just like based on the size and other properties about it, like it just qualifies more as like a star than it does as a.
Well, it's not a planet anymore. Pluto.
Well, yeah, I know. It didn't like shrink or something. It's still there.
They just like declassify.
Yeah,
we're just learning more about it.
Yeah, we learn more about it, and it has
is.
more characteristics to do with a star than it does with like an actual like planet itself. Like it's basically just like a large asteroid type of thing. Like it doesn't qualify as a planet, which is why it was like deprecated from like the solar system. But it's still there doing exactly what it's always been. It's not like shrinking or like jumping out of orbit or anything like that. It's still there. We just are learning more about it, and we call it something different now, which is fine.
Yeah,
it's actually better. It's like
it's just a rock.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it's not a planet. It's just it's a thing that
ice ball.
It's a thing that got stuck at the edge of like the sun's gravity pull, which is like just crazy. Like, it makes you feel so weird, like when you think like you're just this little speck on this one little planet and just this ridiculously massive thing.
And like what it could be like made out of too, like whatever like rock is made of could just be like something that's not even on our like periodic table.
Oh yeah,
just like a new element. It's just like a metal, like indestructible metal or something.
Yeah, they're like oh, this like the sun is just a big burning ball of gas, and it's like what the fuck? It's like, but it has a surface. like
yeah, like well, it can't burn into nothing. It has to be burning like on something.
That's the thing. It's like the sun gives you energy, but it just constantly has energy, which is like that's a scary thought. Is just saying like literally there is a timetable of when the sun will burn itself out.
Yeah,
like that's so scary.
It's coming soon.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, it's like
I don't know about soon.
Like, literally, it's probably like 180 million years away or something like that.
Yeah,
I
think they did.
That's insane. That like a sphere has enough energy for like millions of years. It's like what? Like that's what the universe like gives you, and it's like
that's insane.
That's just so crazy. Like,
but
I don't know.
But don't you look like science hasn't evolved enough so we can actually go more into space and actually it's more of it than just hearing it between like 10 people.
Well, it's the speed of travel that's the problem. We can't get there fast enough. It takes a satellite like 20 years to go to Pluto. You know what I mean? So it's like we can't just go to Pluto because you'd be like, oh, I'll go to Pluto. I'll see you in 40 years round trip. So it's like that's why we can't. We rely on everything with like sending a satellite out or like the telescopes being able to see it. Like that's why like all these programs are getting faster and more efficient. Like eventually, as we develop like light speed rocket ships, which is so far away right now, then it's like, oh, we can get to Pluto in like a few months or something. That's like more realistic. But that's why we can't really go into space because it's like, okay, I'll never see you again probably because it takes so goddamn long to.
You'll have to have like a 20-year-old do that and be gone for 40 years, and when they come back, they're 60.
Yeah, and it's like,
I spent
what'd you learn
of my life
like,
on Pluto.
I don't know. I went crazy on the spaceship. I don't know.
But how can these people that go into space last that long?
In what way?
They're there to observe.
Like when they live on like the International Space Station.
Like space station.
Well, they have to like groom their bodies to handle the gravity, but they have food, and they're there to observe all the instruments that are collecting data. It's just like you live here. They have to eat, sleep, poop, and exercise. It's like
it just doesn't take 20 years to get there.
Yeah,
like you ever seen like Rocket Man?
Nope.
Like the
you ever seen Rocket
the
Man
Elton
with
John movie?
No, not the Elton John. No,
it's a song.
It's a movie too.
No,
by Elton John.
No, not Elton John.
The Elton
we said the Elton John movie.
There was a movie called Rocket Man that is about Elton John. It came out like 2 years ago.
Oh, the new one.
No,
yeah.
older one.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Okay, what's it about?
With the
What's it
kid
about?
from
What's it about?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
it's about just like a regular
rockets.
No,
and men.
It's just regular people just going to
Rocket people.
space.
I thought it was called Rocket Man.
And then
you're so confusing, Christian.
I should forget the main actor that's in the movie that
Tavares Jackson
is Matt Damon.
Ooh. Correct.
That's
Martian.
No, I
Mars.
saw that one, Christian. Yeah, I saw that one. It was called
It's
Mars.
called Martian.
No, it wasn't
Martian.
called Mars.
It's called the Martian.
Yes.
Said it 4 times.
It was called
Dude,
Mars.
the mics are awful tonight. It's like everybody's cutting off.
Shut up.
Does no one talk then?
Anyways, Elton John.
Well,
I had another.
what was your
thing.
point,
What
though,
was it?
Christian? Like, what were you trying to get to?
Hold on.
What the hell?
What the fuck is that?
Is it a comedy?
Hold on. Don't talk to
Rocket
me.
Man.
What was my idea? Oh, I had something. What was it?
It was back in 1997.
Okay, so what after all this,
I
what are we
remember.
getting to? What's your point with this? Yeah, I believe
Okay.
you. Let him make his point first of why he brought this
It's
Yeah.
up.
gonna take a. It's gonna take
I
a while.
actually totally forgot after what
You, like,
guys
yeah, you remember
Let
that
him-
movie? Just in general, like, did we remember that movie? No, I don't. Tim, good.
All right, so I think we briefly talked about it before about like the movie Interstellar, how they leave and like time is like different. Like, how does that work? Because like, I feel like your body, regardless, will like age no matter where you are at the same rate. Because like they said, like on Jupiter, I think it says, I think it's Jupiter, like a day is longer than a year. Because like the way, but that's like on our concept of like day.
Well,
Yeah, but if
as
you
far
think-
as aging, I
Okay.
feel like if you go to a planet and the gravity is stronger than like the Earth's gravity, as far as physically on your body, I feel like you would age faster that way.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like when you think of aging, it's like your cells are getting older, but because they're doing work. If you put yourself in a different environment where it's like the atmosphere is thicker and the
Exactly.
gravity's heavier, your body's doing more work, so you're aging faster.
Your bones
versus
are-
if it's
are-
the
So in a
opposite.
place, I was gonna say in a place that has like
So like
less
what we
physical
call
strain
like
in your body.
like 1 year, like a birthday of 1 year is our evaluation of like a cycle around the sun, but that has nothing to do with like a human being. You know what I mean? Like you're a
Yeah.
year older. Like no, that you're this concept of time that we created older. You know what I mean? So it's like if you get rid of the notion of like age and time and that kind of thing, because that's all like one revolution around the sun
It's all
doesn't necessarily
it's all
mean you
man-made.
age. It's you know what I mean? Like it may not be an even period of age. It's what we just assign to it. You know what I mean? Like one like aging cycle for a human could be like 7.6 years. You know what I mean? So it's like irrelevant of like what we
Yeah.
assign age. But yeah, if you put your body in a different like physical condition, like your body will handle it very differently. So I don't know if that's what Interstellar was going for, where it's like he goes down to that planet, they get stuck on the ship, and he goes back and they're like 80 years old, and he's like, "What the hell? I've been gone for 10
Yeah.
minutes." Like
Yeah.
that concept is kind of like
Like,
ridiculous, and I don't really
what I
know
mean,
how
that's
that
insane.
works. That's kind of they were close to like a black hole, so black holes like stretch like the reality of like what is
Like, whatever
what
that
is
means.
reality, or like yeah, black holes like ridiculous. So like I think that is kind of what the movie was going for with the whole black hole thing, which I don't know enough about it to speak to it, but I would say definitely from a planetary perspective, like it's just very very different. You know what I mean? Like the effects it has on your body, like how hard your cells are working and how quickly they'll like age. Which if you think of cells aging, they're kind of like breaking down. So like if your body's not working as hard, it's not breaking down as quickly. So like you might live longer because of that.
I still feel like you would just pretty much live the same amount regardless, though.
I mean, I don't know. That's like
Because your cells in your body have lives themselves based on what they are, not based on like external factors.
Well-
like yes, you might like other stuff might get affected by gravity, but like your cells, I don't think would.
yeah, but your cell.
Like your
if
joints
they're-
and stuff
If they're
would.
working harder to fight,
But if you think about it, you said your cells are based on like a lifetime that we've defined for them. But like that's a lifetime we define in the parameters of Earth.
at this planet,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like we've put the parameters on those cells based on its current environment. If a baby was born like on Mars in like a colony or whatever, like obviously like a livable thing, that baby could live a very different life if Mars has a different like
Yeah,
atmosphere.
maybe,
its
yeah.
its body would be built to survive on Mars rather than
yeah.
Earth.
Which I guess that statement's kind of weird because you would be in a colony where you would probably have like forced gravity in a containment, so it probably would be identical because you would probably simulate.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you would
like,
end up simulating
Yeah.
Earth's
Yeah.
things. Like that's a problem. Like
Yeah.
humans can't really live in a
Just like-
different environment unless there's like oxygen. Because
So we'll never like
we'll never know
we
because
can't.
even if you go to another planet, it's like oh they have the same oxygen, but you step out of your vehicle and there's like twice the gravity. We just don't have the muscle mass. We would all just be like falling to the ground. We'd be breathing,
Yeah,
but
we'd
we'd just be
collapse.
stuck. You would never be able to move. So it's like
you probably wouldn't even
But
be
you
able
probably
to
wouldn't
breathe.
be able to breathe.
yeah, same
Just
thing.
like
So like
how-
your lungs wouldn't be able to work. So like yeah, we probably can't live outside of a human environment because that's what like evolution
to
has
build- to-
built for us to be here. Like we're meant to be on the planet Earth, regardless of what we think, which is kind of scary too. It's like we're confined to this little planet.
So imagine like someone just comes from a different planet and just like lands on Earth and just lived in.
I feel
They
like
just
that.
start floating away.
for,
'cause
like,
their,
like,
their
10
body's
years
not
or
used to.
I feel like the more you think about it now, it's like aliens coming here is like less and less practical. Like it almost doesn't make sense. And those can like unless there is a Earth 2 or you know what I mean, we're Earth 2, maybe they're Earth 1. You know what I mean? Unless there's like another like
it has to be
technically Mars,
similar.
Earth like almost exactly parameters, no one's gonna come here because the chances are if they're in
Well, unless like they have like we went to like the moon
yeah,
and
that's
we
true. Some sort of space
developed a
suits,
suit
yeah.
to survive on it.
Well,
Like if they
technically,
would have to have some kind of
well,
suit to
technically
survive
Mars
here.
is similar to Earth, somewhat.
Gravity's a lot stronger. So
No, they used to have life forms of like, not life forms, but more like the environment what Earth used to have.
Oh
Water.
no, you're thinking
Well,
about that
not
movie
really.
Alien, Christian. Have you seen Rocket Man?
I was like, I don't think it ever had
Oh,
like
it's all good.
like
I was
other
just messing.
stuff.
No, I mean,
And,
yeah,
like, there was signs that had
yeah,
water.
there's
but I
like
don't think it ever
traces and
had-
like markings that it had water, but it's like it literally could have been like
Yeah, I don't think
a
it ever
billion
had-
years ago. Like it's,
Yeah, I don't think it was like.
I don't think it
Earth.
ever had like walking life like Earth did because it's just
Yeah,
honestly, if it did, we won't know. We just won't know. You know what I mean? Because it's been so long. Like
Mhm.
all the traces have just been like swept away, basically.
let's say we never dug up dinosaurs in like this lifetime, and then in like 5,000 or not 5,000, they've been around for millions of years. Well, let's say like in another million years, like the fossils or whatever like finally eroded or something like that. Let's say we never dug them up, we would never know that there was dinosaurs. You know what I mean? We only know about that because we like dug them up and we found them. If we never found them and they eventually eroded, we just would have no notion that dinosaurs are around. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
that could be like Mars. Maybe there was stuff there. It was so long ago that it's just there's just literally no trace of it. And we're like, oh yeah, based on science, nothing's ever lived there. But it's like they could have had like a full thriving weird species that we'll just
Community, yeah.
never know about because there's nothing to point it to. And like that's really crazy to think about because that's totally possible.
Yep.
Why don't we just blow Mars up
Because it would like fuck
Why?
up the whole
and
solar
see
system.
what happens?
Yeah, it just messed up the whole
See what happens.
We'd probably like get hit with like
gravitational pull.
a piece
I
of
know,
like
just
80% as
asteroid
big
comes
of it and would just destroy Earth. Because there's like no
Well, that'd
predicting how to
work.
like how an explosion would send giant chunks of Mars through the solar system.
Yeah, you would need to like.
We'd like
direct
take
it
out our own
somehow.
sun. and
I know, we're like,
kill us
yeah, we'll do it.
all.
We're like, oh, we found life, and then like every planet just gets bombed with a piece of Mars, and like life is just over as we know it. Like, oh, was it?
You need to like. You need to like keep hitting with stuff so you could just move it in the direction you wanted it to go.
Like,
You have to just keep hitting it so you can just push it
you
away.
have to like drill out a chunk of it and then just keep missiling it until it goes off way into space.
Well, we just need to make a big enough.
But then we'll
rocket
never
to
find out
move it out of
what was on it.
Oh,
gravitational
yeah, they need
pull.
like rocket that like attaches claws to it and then just like rockets it
Yeah,
out
and
of
just
the way.
pulls it out of
That's
the
like straight up movie
gravitational
stuff. How,
pull.
how much rocket force would you need to like push a planet out of the sun's like
Yeah, I
freaking
know.
force?
a lot.
That's just not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
that's a lot.
That's insane.
No, the gravitational pull is just like way too strong to do that.
Imagine a planet just falling out of orbit, just smashing through like the Earth, Jupiter, whatever.
But that's the other thing, like falling on it. Like it would. I don't think it would. It wouldn't hit us. I don't think it because we're well. I guess we're like on the inside. Like if a planet on the outside fell out of orbit, no matter where it fell out, it would never hit us because it would just continue in a straight line in the direction that it fell out of orbit in.
Until it got
Like,
to
it would
another
never hit
area of the
us.
universe that may just like it's like oh shit, like we just haven't got there yet.
And like yeah, it, like hit something else and comes back.
Yeah, like we know we're like oh it just goes in that
Pinball.
direction, but it's like our solar system is just like some big turning thing. Once you go past that, who knows what the fuck's out there? We just like are taking pictures with our telescope. Who knows what's actually happening there? You know what I mean? We don't have
Yep.
video of beyond like the
Yeah.
Milky Way, like that belt of asteroids after Pluto, whatever it's called, is like the edge of the Milky Way. We only have photos after that. We don't know what the fuck happens out there. Like that's crazy.
That'd be
It's
awesome. Just do
insane
like
to
a
think
live
about it.
stream, like a live stream of like deep space.
What's the
Just
thing?
see,
It's like-
random shit.
like-
Like it'd be crazy.
We would accept the
Yeah, awesome.
signal like 20 years later. Like
Yeah,
this is
I know, but that'd
live
be, like, so
20
cool.
years ago. We're just getting the feed now. That's the thing.
cool,
Like
though.
we just don't have the like we know how to do the things. We just don't have the technology to like transfer the radio waves that fast because it's like our best technology is like radio waves. We just like aim it back at Earth and we'll catch the radio wave. And it's like radio waves just like
it's just so
just
far,
chugging through space. It's like we just don't. It's like we know what we need to solve for, but it's like we just don't know how to do it yet. It's like, oh, if we could just beam it there, it's like how. But then again, I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't understand. I don't even get how like freaking Einstein came up with the theory of like gravitational waves.
All of a sudden, it just like came into his mind one day.
This dude's like, all he has is books. He has no computers. Insane. He has like books and a telescope, and he's just like, oh, I wonder if the universe is like fucking gravitational waves. And I was like, what? Like
it's like made up a thing that became a thing.
And they're like, oh, he was right. 400 years. Like, how was that possible? And it's like, that blows my mind. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I know there's like people that smart now too, but it's like, I feel like I'm so far away from being that smart because I just can't even comprehend how you even get to that. Like,
yeah, because like, how do you come up with something that you never knew?
E equals MC squared. Oh my god, it did it.
Yeah, math.
Like,
dude,
how
math.
do you come up with a new concept?
I wish I was like amazing at math.
Who made math? Like, I don't understand.
I know. I don't like that I hate math.
I know. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's like, dude, math literally is. Math is life. It's like, everything. Everything has
which I hate. I hate that, but it's literally everything. It's just so frustrating.
I say like the science that they came up with back in the day that still holds today, dude. Props to them. It's insane.
I know, like ancient astronomers and stuff who like already knew of other planets without telescopes. Like what?
Like I get like you can like we go over the sun's here and it goes around and you can kind of like figure out like we have time, like what's a day, like you can associate that stuff, but like when you just come up with something like you said, like you don't even know of and you're like, oh, it's probably doing this, and it's like what? Like,
and you're right.
And then you're right. Like, oh my god.
Was he just like the best guesser?
You just figure out how to make electricity one day. You just do it. Like, okay, nice.
They were just like the best guessers at the time. They just happened to.
But it's like now it's like to get to those we have like insane computers to like simulate and do this things. And it's like he was just like on a fucking piece of paper with a quill. like I don't know. It blows my mind. But all right, we'll leave it at that. Props to all the past geniuses that have like gotten us to this point. Like, thank you.
No props to the present geniuses. You guys suck.
They don't help us. They don't help us anymore.
Well, even we could just be discrediting them because of like how far along we actually are. We're taking advantage of like literally what we're doing right now. Like this is possible. Yeah. This guy was figuring out gravity on a notebook, and we're here like talking to each other virtually, and we're like, this is stupid. Like, this is a feat of mankind as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but we're getting up there on time.
Hasta la vista.
I think Christian's about to fall asleep.
Follow us on the socials.
Yeah, it's too much science. I'm not too much science.
Well, did you learn something today, Christian?
Say I'm not too much science.
As long as you took something
away.
You
guys lost me like halfway through. I'm trying to figure out. I was like, yeah.
Forward the boys. Like, comment.
No, we're not experts either.
Like, comment.
I'm not a science guy. But
like,
okay.
Brian's trying to plug everything. Hold on.
Go ahead, Brian.
He just keeps trying.
I've just been talking this whole time as you guys have been talking too.
Go ahead, Brian.
Follow us on the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, all of them. Board with the boys. Like, comment, subscribe. YouTube, everything. Every
Twitch.
single thing.
Please, thank you.
Everything.
Appreciate it.
Do it.
Streaming coming soon. Yeah. We'll eventually get that going.
We love you.
So we can all
stay
stream
tuned. We got tons
live.
of stuff. Hope you enjoyed this one. And we'll see you in the next one.
Thanks to all our followers.
Hakuna Matata.
Later.
Bye.